We are ready to get started with our negative wisdom intelligence.
Yes, the nugget of wisdom intelligence. As I was explaining to Catherine, that it really emerged out of a body of work that I'm doing with a couple of miracle journeyers. And there's a journey that they've been on. This is the second year of their journey on embodied enlightenment, where you experience the experience of full-blown enlightenment whilst experiencing all that your body experiences, so you can literally have it all. Now, in that process, there's a very interesting questioning that took place, and it was all about what is intelligence, what is mind, what is connection to spirit, what is intuition, all those kind of things. And even though I was enthusiastic and excited about doing our next Pearl of Wisdom, I felt that it is time for us to really get up close and personal to intelligence. Because that is something that is actually quite distinctive about being human, which is intelligence. So I'm going to talk about intelligence in a way that you could perhaps see how it is described in, on Google or in other articles. And it is the nuance that really I'm going to bring forth as I talk through the intelligence. What usually happens when we talk about intelligence, like Catherine said, that she looks for intelligence in her mate, and we often misconstrue intelligence with intellect, and we'll learn more about that as we progress. So let's look at these 7 systems of intelligence that we are actually gifted with. We are gifted with all of these. What we develop and evolve and sharpen actually has a direct impact on how we experience living our life. So intelligence itself, as the dictionary defines it, it's the ability to acquire and apply knowledge and skills. It's also sometimes defined as the ability to solve complex problems or make decisions, with outcomes that benefit the person that is actually making those choices. And it is this that is sometimes utilized to differentiate humans from animals. And it is this aspect of intelligence that is talked about in the context of evolution. And different life forms have developed this intelligence to different levels to adapt to diverse environments, really for the purposes of their survival and reproduction. And this is the intelligence that is often talked about as intelligence per se. Now, there's a difference between intelligence and intellect. Intellect really is our ability, our faculty to reason and understand objectively, particularly with regards to abstract matters. Now, having shared all of that, that is what you see or hear or read about intelligence. When I looked at, okay, so what's the bottom line here? What's really going on that is giving us this result that is talked about in intelligence and intellect? What is actually happening? What are we actually doing, which makes it distinctive for us as humans? Humans have a very specific ability to respond, not simply react. And this ability to respond, not simply react, is the function of how intelligence shows up in us as humans. So intelligence is our ability to connect the dots. And it is through this intelligence we actually connect the dots. We connect the dots in different ways depending on the different intelligence systems that we are working with. And the intention of connecting the dots is to achieve this level of an understanding. It has the result of being able to solve complex problems, make decisions. And it is this connecting of the dots that is actually applied. So that was very, very beautiful to understand. Intelligence is the ability to connect the dots. dots. And it is this unique ability that we as humans possess that gives us the ability to respond as opposed to react. So if you look at other life forms, they are reactive often. Humans can choose to. We are also reactive often, but we can choose to connect the dots and then make our choices and then take action. In our ability to connect the dots, the other unique gift that we have as humans is, making choices is an action for all living things on this planet. And for humans, it is the modus operandi. So we make choices, and even if we choose to say that something else had made the choice for us, that is a choice that we make. Even if we choose to make no choice, that is also a choice that we make. By connecting the dots, and before we take action, we connect the dots and we just add that little bit extra in terms of the dot connection. What I'm suggesting here is proactively consider the consequence. Given that you already have intelligence as a gift, which is the ability to connect the dots, then you've already connected the dots, you've arrived at a point of choice. And before you jump into action, just consider, if I take this action, what's the consequence? Will I actually choose that consequence? In which case, I go ahead and take action. Like literally declare to yourself, I choose that consequence. Like for example, there was a point in time where I talked about, when I made the decision that I really need to have a base in India as well. And my son was deeply hurt about that. And he usually goes into, I'm not going to talk to you for a while. So he was not talking to me. And you know how close Sai and me are, right? We talk, even to this day, we would talk every single day. We would touch base. Didn't matter how busy he was or I was, we would always talk every day. Now he's not talking to me. And initially, I sort of went into really appeasing him, and couldn't apologize because I wasn't feeling apologetic, but there was no listening there at all. And there was a point where I could have said, listen, the whole reason for me making the choice to base myself in India is because I have chosen at this point in my life for, my mission to be overarching. So I could literally say, okay, I'm going to just shut this off. This is like done with it. And then I said, am I going to choose shutting off my son? No, actually, I'm not. But so often we do this. I'm done with it. I'm just going to walk away. Or what's the consequence of walking away? This whole part of your life is just going to be left behind. I choose to leave that part of my life behind. Now, that may be a choice you might want to make. But the moment you engage with this, will I be able to declare, I'm choosing this? And your answer will often be whatever it is. Like in my case, it was like, no, I'm not shutting him off. So I'm actually going to relentlessly make requests of us having a communication and actually share where I am in terms of my relationship with him until there is a listening. So a little bit of an elaborate answer to your question. Before you take action, when you've made a choice, by considering the consequences and choosing the consequence before taking action, further enriches your ability to respond. And that is what responsibility is, your ability to respond. It's not you don't enrich your ability to respond by just reacting. I have to react. I have to give an answer to this, like I have to give an answer to this now. Well, no. What if you gave an answer right now and somebody else comes up with something else? You're now sucked into the cycle of content reaction. You're reacting, the other person is reacting. There is no ability to respond. You're going super primal, and there's no need for that. You're a human. You have this huge gift of intelligence, the ability to connect the dots.